Laura here. Nice of you to join me. Right, we're on part 5 now of our Passion Stroke Lady Vagabond album, a series of videos that I'm doing to show you how to make the Lady Vagabond album that I did a walkthrough on a few weeks or so ago. If you want to have a look at that video, I'll put the link there in that corner, and that will take you, and then you can have a look to your heart's content. If you want to have a look at the whole of my tutorial on how I'm making it, then I'll put the playlist also either in that corner there so that you can, or somewhere on the screen so that you can click on it, and that'll take you back to part 1 where you'll be able. Also, if you're not a subscriber, then please subscribe and hit that subscribe button, and if you do, please hit the notification button as well. Also, I'm on all the social medias, so come and follow me on those. I will put all the links in the description box down below, so you can just click on those and that will take you to where you need to be. So page 4, we're not actually going to be doing page 4, because page 4 is exactly the same as page 3, apart from we've put the pocket, we've made the pocket into a tuck spot, and that goes at the top of the album instead of the side. So you just need to rotate that round, and that will go obviously at the top. So that's the only thing you need to do. You will obviously need to remeasure. So instead of this being the 7 7/8, it would be the 7 3/4 going across instead of the 7 7/8. But that is basically the only difference. So as I say, we're going to focus on the page 5. So page 5 is a flap open and then a flap up with a tuck spot inside. Now, if you didn't want to add this little tuck spot here, what you could do is, when we did the tuck spot, the little hidden slots here, you could have put the hidden slots into that part of the album if you want. So enough waffle, Tamara. Let's get on with our books, or our page. So for our measurements, so page 5, we're going to need our base page. We've already cut them out. So flap 1, we'll need to cut them. Right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do that. Flap 1 is 6 3/4 by 5 1/4. So get your cardstock. So 6 3/4 by 5 1/4. And you need to mark that, or flap 1. Okay, so flap 2 is 8 by 5 1/4. I'll leave them there. And that didn't work. 8 by 5 1/4, and mark that flap 2, sorry, flap 2. So flap 3 is 7 3/4 by 11. and then mark that flap 3. Okay, so taking your flaps, so flap 1 and flap 2, we're going to do flap 3 in just a moment. So we need to now give them our score lines. So we need to score with the long edge against our measuring guide, and we're going to score along the short edge, and we're going to score at 1/2 inch. Okay, fold that over. Flap 2 exactly the same, with the long edge along our measuring guide. We're going to score along the short edge. We're going to score that at 1/2 inch again. Fold that over. Now, flap 3, we need it with the long edge on our measuring guide, and we're going to score along the short. So we're going to score that at 1/2 inch. Okay. So once you've scored your 3.5, sorry, your half, just slide your paper up to the 3.25 mark and score again. Okay, and fold over. That's going to become your pocket. Bring in your paper, your page. Now we're going to work on the back of the page that we've done the belly band on. So that, we're going to turn that over. Make sure you've got the right way. So you want your belly band towards your left. Flip it over, and then we're going to work on the back. So I'm just going to take out these, put them somewhere safe that I'll never find again, and we're going to work on the back. So we're going to work first of all with putting on our flap that's going to go underneath. Bring in your bone folder and just crease those score lines a little bit more. Okay, like so. Now, like we've done on the other pockets, I'm just going to add a bit of construction tape on the side of this pocket to keep it closed, like so, and again on the other side. And like so. That way it keeps it nice and it gives you that pocket, but then you've still got that, all of that space in there. And then it cuts down again on having extra bulk in your album. So we need to put some double-sided tape along on our glue tab, and we're working on the mounting fold side, like that. Burnish it down, pull it off, and working from one corner, just find where it goes and then just work to the other side. There we go. And then you should find that you'll end up with a nice straight edge. Okay, like so. Now if you want, like so, that's it, that's good. So now we need to put our flaps on. Now you can put your flaps underneath. I think that's what I might do, is I'm going to put mine inside the little hole that we've got, little folder. Just push that down a bit. So with these ones, the double-sided tape's going to go on the valley fold, the valley side. So put that on there, and same on flap 1, like so. And it doesn't matter which one you do first, 1 or 2, flap 1 or 2, if you put them on. It's really up to you. I don't know how I've ended up with a tiny bit of double-sided tape stuck. So work out first of all where you want them. So do you want your flap to cover the bottom bit, or do you want it where it's level? I'm going to have it so it's level. So flap, I'm going to put flap 2 on first, I think, because that's going to go this side. So again, I'm just going to sort of by eye it, really. No, tell you what I will do, which is going to work better. Put yourself a nice pencil line so that it shows where your flap ends. Then we can work towards that. That would be a better idea. And then we can push these down. Like so. There we go. Let's check. Okay, that's good. Give that a bit of a burnish. And then we're going to put flap 1 on. So take those over, and again working from that line. Oh, I can't talk when I'm concentrating. There we go, I think that's about right. So, burnish those down, like so, and burnish that down. So that then is your flaps 1 and 2 and 3 all put on, like so. Now, if you wanted to, you could, well, maybe it's my fault, should have rounded the corners before we put them on, but we can do that now. If I can find my rounding tool. So I'm using the 1/4 inch side. Like that. Okay, now we have to think about putting on our magnets. So, magnet on the underside of flap 1. Like so. I'm going to just use some construction tape. to put it on with. Okay. Bit more construction tape, sticky side up. And let it find its own stick. And then push that down. Like so. Yeah, so that's that one. Now I'm gonna give it another magnet because I like it to be, because we're going to be putting paper and things on, and you're going to have photographs and stuff. It's nice to have an extra magnet on. So I'm just going to put one on the underside of flap 2, like so, and then that will just give an extra force to stick, like so. Okay. Brilliant, it's looking very good. So now we can start to decorate. And again, that is really up to the individual on what you use to put in and what you sort of do. So let's have a look what we have. Okay, here are the measurements for the pattern paper for page 5. I will keep them on the desk so that you can see them, but let's put them this side. So you can just keep them there. Hopefully they will be on the screen all the time. So we're going to work on, so flap 1, that's going to be the top one. So we're going to cut the flap 1 at 5 and 1/8. We're going to cut that first of all. So 5 and 1/8. Like so. Now, that's going to go along the top, or on the top like so. So the reason why I've just cut that one and not all of it yet is I wanted to make sure we cut it correctly. So we need to put this piece of paper into our trimmer exactly like this to cut the 6 and 1/8, because we're going to use the offcut here on this part of our, so this part here of our flap underneath, we're going to use the offcut, and it will all become apparent in a moment. So let's just do the 6 and 1/8. I've just noticed I've got a bit of the glue from the paper pad on the edge there of that paper, so I've just cut that bit off. So 5 and 1/8. So that then goes onto our card. Just making sure that that is correct. And I think, yes, that's fine. So the next one, we're just going to measure this bit here, and my bit measures 1/4. Mine measures exactly 1 1/2. Okay, so So I'm going to chop off 1.5. Just double check to make sure that that marries up. 1.5. Yeah. Okay. So that goes on like that, and then this goes there. Now, did I? Now I need to round these corners. Like so. And I'm going to round these ones as well, although they're not rounded on the bottom. I'm going to round them there so that it matches. Okay, ink the edges. One. 2. Get the glue and we can stick it down, hopefully. There we go, comes out. And let's stick it down. I'm just going to open that out so that I can see what I'm doing. And then just stick down this part here. Make sure you've got it. There we go. That looks okay actually, that looks really nice. I quite like that. It's working for me. So now we've just got to do this part here. So this part here is obviously going to be a little bit shorter. So let's measure it. So that would be 6 1/8 by 5 1/8. So 6 1/8. So if you wanted to, you could carry on with this one or just pick a different one. So we'll go with that because then that is a contrasting colour. So we want 6 1/8. By 5 1/8. So I'm going to go 5 1/8. Let's open that out so that we can see. And I need to go a little bit less than 6 1/8. So how did I get 6 1/8? Sorry, 5 3/4. How did I get 6 1/8? That's better. And then round the edges. And ink. I think this patina effect that is on these papers, I think it's one of my favourite effects to do. I love doing that effect. It's really good to do. So, glue on the back when it decides to come out. And stick down. Like so. Okay. So that's then the start of our page. So sorry about that. I can't do anything about that sun. It is a pain. So you can go on and cover those. I won't cover those on camera. We'll do those at a later stage. Let's work now on our flap, our flap number 3. So again, you can just use the paper that you've got, that you've already cut into. So I'm going to use this page, and I'm just going to keep that as that is, that length, and that was 7 5/8. So that then fits in. You could cut that down a bit more to set 5. What was it? 4.5. I suppose it's quite a bit to waste, so I've just cut that down. So ink the edges. Okay, that's got it. There we go. A bit better now. I don't feel as though I'm squeezing for dear life. So give it some wiggle room and push down. So the flap pocket was 3 1/8 by 7 5/8. So let's go with 7 5/8. By 3 1/8. And then that's the pocket. And this would make a lovely, you could put a nice photo on the front of the pocket here, or just add some of the chipboard elements. That would look really nice, maybe with a little tuck spot, or you could cut out some of the elements from the paper and add those in, which might be a better idea. Okay, so then that is the two flap, the flap, and the upside flap, and then we're going to work on this one here. Now, if you remember on my bloopers on part 4, right at the end of the video I showed you a blooper that I did, and the blooper was I'd cut out my hidden slots, but I cut it all out on the wrong. So what I did is I put my my pen marks on one side and then cut it out on that side, so I got my the beveled edge of the die cuts on the side with the pens. So it was a bit of a blooper. So, but I'm going to use this because it doesn't look that, it looks fine actually, and you probably wouldn't have even noticed, but obviously I did. So I'm going to use that sheet because I've got it here. But what you would do is you would put yourself in a just a plain one of your pattern papers, and you could just add a tuck spot, or as I say, go to that that video, and that shows you how I did that hidden slot. It's only because I had it here that I thought I would use it in the book. So let's put that there. I love this side. I wish I could keep that side, but I make these mistakes so you don't have to. That's what I should say. This will be my mantra. And let me tell you, I make lots of mistakes. I do. So that is that done. That goes there, that goes there, that goes there. Okay, right. What I've done off camera is I've just paper pieced the two back of the two flaps, and I've added our little reinforcing strips onto the hidden slots. That's the only things I've did. I've left this black at the moment because what I'm going to do is I'm going to again paper piece with my offcuts of paper. So I thought, because that was such a big space to cover, I thought I'd wait until I had a few offcuts left. So what I think we will do now is we will make up our file envelope. So if you cut those measurements first. I've done a little diagram here of everything that we're going to do. So we're going to start with our measurements. So our measurements are going to be, now this can be any measurement you want, so just tweak about with the measurements to suit your needs. So, but the measurements we're going to use today are 11 by 8. Okay. We're then going to have the longest edge down the measuring guide of our trimmer, and we're going to push it up, and we're going to score at 2 inches. Okay. Then we're going to turn it to the opposite end, like so, and score it at 4.5, like so. Okay, then we're going to have the longest edge. Now you see, you can't see them score lines now, so what I'm going to do is just put in some pencil marks just so that you can see where my score lines are. Okay, like so. So that's where my score lines are. So we're going to have the shortest edge now down our measuring guide of our trimmer, and we're going to score along the long edge and we're going to score this at 1/2 inch. Now we're going to score it all the way up to the 2-inch mark up here. Okay, so like so, and I'll just mark them so that you can see those. Then turn it round and do the same on the other side, and again just from your 2-inch mark all the way down to the bottom. Okay, so that's what we should have at the moment. Okay, that. I'll turn it this way. Okay. Now, where we haven't scored on the top edge, we're going to cut down now at the 1/2 inch mark to the 2-inch mark. So we're going to cut that little bit off. Okay. Down to there. And then do the same on the other side. So down to the 2-inch mark and cut that off. You might need your scissors just to trim off that rectangle part, like so. So this is what you should have at the moment. Okay. Now in the middle here, where we've got our 4.5 inch mark, we just need to make some little nicks. So we're going to go in at an angle to that point, and we're going to do that on both sides of that score line. Okay, so you've made like a little triangle notch. You're going to do that on both sides. Okay, and that you should then end up with that. Okay, that's the what we've got so far. Next, we're going to cut off. Let me move this out of the way. Now you can use your trimmer or your scissors, it's up to you. We're going to cut this part off here and this part. Okay, we're going to cut them off. Now I'm just going to use my scissors for quickness, but you can use your trimmer. So where you're just cutting along that score line that you've made, so it gives you an actual straight line. Because we scored it, it gave us that straight line to be able to cut. Okay, there we are. So now we can go ahead and start to fold in our score lines. So we fold that one and turn it over and fold that one. Oh, wait, sorry, before we do that, I forgot to do the top of our, so this is our fold, our flap. This is the back, this is going to be the front. So we just need to cut off 1/8 of an inch just off that top edge. Now that's all that's going to do is allow us to shut the folder a bit more easier so that it doesn't end up bunching up. So we folded our glue tabs in. Now we need to fold the folder in half and then fold our flap. Okay, and then that then is our file folder. Okay, so I'm just going to burnish them score lines just to crease them a little bit better, and we just need to now glue it together. Now you can glue it where you glue the glue tabs on the outside, like so. If you do that, you will need to just trim off an eighth of an inch down either side. I don't mind them inside because I've got kind of straight lines. You're not going to see them. It's going to hide it. So I'm just going to glue with our tab inside. But I'm also just going to nick off the corners of that top glue tab, just so that it gives a flatter finish. So put your double-sided tape on. Now I tend to try and put my double-sided tape on these glue tabs as near to the folded edge as I can, because then it doesn't pull apart too easily. That's 1, 2, and then just fold them over and push down and push down, and there we've got that done there. Now what we could have done, which I forgot to do, which would be a good thing, would be to put our closure on. Now you could use a magnet or a file folder closure. So I'm just going to mark where the edge of my flap is here, so that I know to measure from that. So let's check how wide that is. So that's 7, so that would be 3.5 would give me my center. So 3.5 is my center, and I'm going to come up 3/4 of an inch. That's what I'm going to do off that center line. So that's my center, and then I'm going to come down from this line that we've just drawn. Did I say? Yeah, 3/4 of an inch. So we get the center again. 3.5. Come down. That's 3/4 of an inch. That then should give me the center. There's half. So it's that one. So you need to put in your little pokey holes. Find my poker tool. There we go. And then just poke your holes through. That's 1 and 2, like so. And then we can get your punches. This one is, I think, a 5/8, this one, and I think this one is just slightly smaller. So this one is probably 1/2 inch in width, I think. So we'll just try it. So I'm just going to go with some dark, some black, and then just an offcut I've done it the wrong way round. That's always the way. So this one is probably slightly bigger. So that one is probably 1/2 inch, this one, and then this one is probably the 5/8. Did I get that right? There we are. It's just slightly, which is quite a nice, you probably can't even see it. I'll bring it up a little bit. There, it just gives it a little minuscule border, which is lovely. And then they're just going to fit over our little holes, like so. But you'll need your brads. So let's just put these together. So that's one, and one. Oh, nope. No, come. Okay, so that's two. Now you could, if you wanted to add, to make them a little bit stronger, you could double punch the cardstock. That would just give you a bit more, be a bit more robust. So this I'm just going to by eye my center point, if I can, in, and push that down, and then put it. Now what you would do is you would cover this first of all. So before you put your little circles on, you would cover these first of all. I'm just showing you first how to do it first. This one might be a little bit trickier, and then what you can do is just add a bit of construction tape behind, just to stop anything that you push in that's going to get caught. And then you just use some, I've got some waxed cotton thread, but I think that one would look nice. So, but I'm just going to use just a blue just for the moment, just because that is open. Again, I will put the link to this in the description down below. So all you do is you just put it round underneath your circle, and just do a couple of knots, and then the excess part, the smaller part, you just cut that little bit off, pull it through, and then with the then just wrap it round the two, and then that's your closure. How quick and easy and simple is that? Cover this one first. If you've got any offcuts, again, use your offcuts. Chop her off, and then use this. I'm hoping I'm going to have enough. I've got a bit, so that will be 4 1/8. So 4 1/8. Ink, ink, ink. Now I'm going to put it right up against that, butt it up to the pattern paper that I've already got there, just so that I've got a tiny little border running all the way down. And then what we could do is add a black piece strip that just goes along the middle like that, and then that just tidies that edge up. So I've just used this here. So this is, I'm going to just do it at the 4 1/8, which is about there. that just fits on. It just tidies that little edge up then. Like so. So that's the front. So before we go any further, we just need to punch back in our brad hole like so. And then what we can do now is add in our little circle closures. Masking tape will be suffice, or just normal sticky tape. That will work. And just put that over the top there, and then that's going to hide those brad legs, and then it's going to stop anything catching on it. Now what you could do is just add a strip that goes along the top there and inside, just to hide this bit if you so wish. You don't have to if you don't want to. I mean, I've got a offcut here that I can use. So it was 6 7/8. So just ink that top edge. And then push that in like so, and then that just looks like you've paper pieced that, you know, that's then all the way down like so. Then we can work, you can do the top, we can cover this part and then cover that back bit as well. So I'm going to cover the inside. So it is 1 7/8 by 6 7/8. Then round your corners. Make sure you get the right corners. Ink. And then stick that bit on. Okay, and then pokey tool that through. Sorry, take this bottom one off. That's the power of that. Right. The power of the bookbinding glue. Look how quick that grabbed. Right, no, what we need to do is you need to do the top one first. So put your top pattern paper on first, then add your double-sided tape to the hole. Then put your brad through like so. Then put the brad onto the double-sided tape add your construction tape over the top of the brad legs, and then put your double-sided, then put your pattern paper on, because then that's going to hide all those workings. Why did I not think of that first of all? There we go. Round the edges. Ink. Actually, I'm going to use that side. That side's nicer. Okay, just then push that over. There, that's better. Like so. And then pick your whatever you're using for closure. If you've got just normal embroiderer's floss, you can use that. You can even use dental floss. That works just as well. That's what I wanted. There's the... So you can either have it where it goes in here, like so, or you can have it where it goes in. That looks quite nice where it's like that. And you could maybe make a bigger one that goes on the top, or you can have it like so, or you can have it where it goes into your little holder. The only thing I think, if you put it through there, these might get caught, so you're probably better putting it into this pocket here, and then maybe making a bigger one that goes on the top up here. You're probably better doing that, doing it that way. So what we can now do is attach it into our book. To do that, we need to turn it round the opposite way, and I'm going to work now, I'm working upside down because we're working on sort of back to front. So on our hinge, we're just going to put the double-sided tape. Now this goes to as near to the edge of your hinge as you can get, and you need to put it on both sides of the hinge because it needs to stick the two parts of the page together, like so. Okay, then take off the double-sided tape, one and the other side. Then I just add a line of glue just along that double-sided tape. Again, it's before, so that you've got some wiggle room, because you need to be able to wiggle it to get it into position. So make sure you've got it up the right way. I was going to put it in the wrong way. That would have been a disaster. So you need to turn it upside down. So I've turned it upside down so that it's upside down, and then it will go into your book correctly. So you just need to slot in the hinge into the middle of the page and push down, come on, like so. And push in. Get it as straight as you can with the page that's below. Okay, once you've got that in straight, burnish it down, and then that way it's nice and flat. Let's turn it round and make sure it's the right way. So that's our book so far. So we haven't done anything else, so we've added no photo mats or anything like that, no decorative features. Now I'm not going to put anything else on this part here because I don't want to bulk it out anymore. The next page, which will be the same as this one here, sorry, it would be the pocket page, which would be upside down. I'm just going to do that as a time-lapse video. So thanks again for watching and for supporting me. Really do appreciate it. Please subscribe if you're not a subscriber. Please like this video if you've liked this video. Please leave a comment. Always love to read your comments. I'm also on Facebook and Instagram. All the links will be linked down below, as well as a few shopping links that you can see where I've bought my products from. So until the next time, take care and see you on the next one. Bye! Oh, I've also got a group over on Facebook called Memories Papers Art. The link is also in the description down below. Come and check us out. See you soon. Bye!